way to the answer that was given from Constantine Paleologos, who was the last emperor of Byzantium, to the Turkish, where he gave an answer, and because the Turkish were saying to him, "You give you the opportunity to not be slaughtered, to live out with very wealthy, even with your army, you know, to make some smaller kingdom for you," and so on. And he answered him, you know, a leader has no right to decide his city and his country to be given to somebody else, even if he is a leader that he can get by himself, you know, this decision, because the leader carries the history of his ancestors and has no right upon the graves of the heroes of this nation to get such a decision. So the only alternative is war. But today we have foreign troops. I mean, we have U.S. troops. so you see, what is the big difference?
But Greece was trying very hard to be a neutral country. And Greece had relatively good relations with Germany at that point.
Yes,
and
excellent.
Greece was not trying to side with either the Allies or with the Axis. And
yes.
This is a little bit off the subject we want to talk about, but I think it's so interesting because it shows. Very interesting
because we won the war with Italy, and then we wanted to stop the war, and the British intelligence service murdered the leader of the Greek leader of the government. The next one was so much pressure on him to go on war with Germany, that he killed himself. At least was this. He made a suicide. This is the official. Then we went with the Germans in war. That for 3 months the German troops could not enter inside Greece, and this was something unique that happened, because Germany in just few hours, you know, was crossing the borders of other countries much bigger than Greece, and conquered them.
Well, the Greece put up a huge fight, but the whole war was a disaster for the Axis powers, because Germany was concerned that if Greece allowed British bombers to be stationed in Greek territory, they could bomb the Romanian oil fields, and Germany had an oil shortage to begin with. And it was completely unnecessary for Italy to try to bully Greece, from my understanding, because Greece was not in the Allied camp yet. The only result of the Italian invasion was to push Greece into the Allied camp, and then on top of it, they couldn't even win the war. They ended up getting beaten back into Albania by the fierce resistance of the Greek army. So that's hugely fascinating. Greece ends up suffering pretty bad due to the war. There is this civil war that happens after, which is pretty brutal. I don't know how many, but certainly thousands of people are killed in the civil war.
In the civil war, we lost more people than the war with Italy and Germany. This is a fact, and it was very brutal. And also there is an unknown aspect of this story, where when the communists lost the war, when they were going Greece and living, they were taking small children and kids with them from the villages, so to restore in the future a new army and attack in Greece. So many mothers, thousands, lost their children, and this is something unknown to many people. But I wanted to mention something important, that while Germans were winning and were coming in Athens, the Greek government left. He went in Crete, and then from Crete to Egypt, and they got with them all the gold of Greece. This gold of Greece, it was taken by the British government, and the British government, by this gold, promised to the Greek people to help the resistance. In reality, in the war, just a small part of this gold was spent as a help, but the rest of the gold never was given back to Greece. The interesting thing is that never officially the Greek governments asked back the gold of the Greek people.
So Britain took Greek gold during this period with of the Civil War?
No. This was taken before the troops enter inside Athens, the German troops. This was taken just after the fall of the Greek borders, and the Germans were starting to come in to southern, to the capital city of Greece, and then the gold was taken and transferred in Crete, and from Crete to Egypt, and from Egypt to England.
The claim that I heard made was that the Greek gold that was in the bank vaults in 41 was taken by the Germans, though. This is not true?
This is not true, and I had the chance to know one, he's no more in life, but I know his son, who was a part of the soldiers, the Greek soldiers, who participated in this epic course for the transportation of the gold. So I know this for sure.
That's pretty amazing. I never heard that before, but I believe you. So
yes.
We're going to come back to that.
We have from the Germans that during the occupation period of time, the Greek people was forced to pay money as a form of loan to the German occupation government, and Germany after the Second World War never gave back this loan. And not only this, but never the Greek governments asked also compensations to be given to the Greek people for the damages that and the catastrophe that was taking place in Greece. And something about starvation. The starvation in Greece was terrible, especially in the big cities. And this starvation was a result of the Allies' policy.
This was because of the Allies.
Yes, because they was the only country of the occupied Europe where, let's say, the Red Cross was not giving any help to the Greek population. At the same time, they were bombing civilian areas, the Allies, in order to make them starving even worse, and to make them have a stronger resistance against the Germans. So the whole propaganda was we are suffering and we have to resist in order to be liberated.
So that was because of the British blockade that the Red Cross was not allowed to come.
Yes.
So let's fast forward a little bit from the Second World War, and that was actually quite interesting. So the Civil War is over.
And something which is a key point, now very important.
Okay.
In Greece there was three, let's say, parts of resistance. One part was the communists, the other part was the Free Democrats, and afterwards was the National Army of Greece, and it was also the Nationalist part. The Nationalist was very small in comparison with the